thing.
Hmm.
Gotta remember what the fucking name of the podcast is for a second.
Like
All right.
intelligence not included.
Yeah, which is really showing now, of course.
Yeah, a lot of it.
All right. Hello and welcome. This is the first podcast episode of Intelligence Not Included. I am Jeremy,
And I am AJ.
and we're trying this for the first time, and we're hoping that it goes okay. We have a lot of different software running and a lot of different things happening at the moment, but I'm hoping that it all works out okay. Like, we have cameras set up, but we may not use them depending on how long they actually last. It's the first time I'm going to be recording for this long on them, but we'll see how they go. But anyhow, we were just talking about what's it? TikTok being, what'd you say, a worse version of Vine?
Like Vine's ugly cousin
Vine's ugly cousin.
is, I think, the words that I used exactly.
Yeah, it's just my issue with TikTok myself is that it became full of 16-year-old girls doing like the most
Yeah, more
like
than anything.
just provocative, unnecessary dancing, and it's not okay that children are doing
That's
that.
what
That's
it's
my
basically
feeling.
become about. It's basically become like a platform for people to like videotape themselves, either humiliating other people or like just performing like dance moves. And it's just, I hate it, and I don't even know why I hate it really. I guess it's just because like everybody's getting so wrapped up into it, and I feel like they should just like, it's not that great, It's like, get over it, Like,
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I mean, we don't have that option anymore in the U.S. because, as far as I understand, TikTok is banned now from the U.S. I have to look it up and see when
you
it's
told me
actually
that
banned here.
earlier, but I looked on the App Store and apparently it's still available. But I actually like I had heard about that at some point. Like apparently, like there was a rumor going around that TikTok was like selling information or something like that, or like data, or there was
Yeah,
a data
something to do with that.
breach. I can't really remember what it was.
I think that it has to do with the fact that I don't know if you heard about all the people on TikTok buying out like the entire stadium to one of his yeah, to one of, or they didn't buy it out. I think that they all reserved like seats in this stadium for him to do some type of address. I don't exactly remember what it was. So it was a big gathering of people with Trump, and apparently TikTok had a bunch of people on it that they decided to buy up all the tickets so that way, or reserve them all so
As
that way
if I need
nobody
another
fucking showed up.
reason to like dislike it,
Exactly.
Like,
So I think that they did that. Well, they did it to make sure that no one showed up to it. It took all the seats away from anybody else, and that way he was like, "I've got a turnout of like X many people. It's gonna be big. It's gonna be insane." And then they get there and there's like six dudes outside, and one dude's just go like, "Woo!" Like, I don't know exactly how it went,
I'm
but
surprised they were dudes. Like,
it's just, it was a little unnecessary.
I don't know. It just became like very popular in our household, and I don't know. Maybe that's why I was annoyed by it for a little while. But I mean, it's just like if you flip through the feeds on like social media, like on Instagram, for example, like all you fucking see is just constant like videos of like people doing like dance numbers, like like the like
Oh
that,
yeah.
like what's that name of that one dance that's like going around now where
You'll know better than I do. I am so far away from TikTok.
I think it's WAP, honestly.
Is it WAP?
It might be like I just see like girls
Well,
like they kick one leg in the air and then they just get down on the ground and they just start like twerking and like
I've seen that been done.
and
I
that's
didn't know how
basically
that
what
being.
TikTok has become, like people like just doing
It's all
like
dance
weird shit,
challenges.
yeah, like I don't know, like it's like they tried to
Oh,
somebody tried to revive the Vine
yeah.
like
Vine was
craze.
great because I think that Vine at least had some type of, I don't know, structure to it where people actually tried to make like funny vines. I mean, I'm sure that exists still
Yeah.
on TikTok.
No, it was classic. Like if you go online right now, like some of the vines that you see that people used to make back in the day, like they were actually genuinely funny.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas now I feel like it's just like I don't know. There's not a right way to describe it. It's just like there's not as much comedy. It's just kind of tasteless. It actually some like people like genuinely got careers started off of Vine,
Mm-hmm.
where they made like a lot of money off of it, and like we got some really great stars out of it.
Yeah.
Like, and now that and then they had their whole career started on YouTube and things like that.
Isn't that how Logan Paul and Jake Paul started? Was on
I think
Vine?
so, and then like King Batch, I think did like I don't know if you heard of him.
I have not.
Like he's just like one example of like someone
For somebody
who
that spends all of their time on the internet, I really don't know who the fuck anybody is on the internet.
no, like, and I'm typically not like the kind of person who remembers any of their names either. But,
Yeah, I can tell you that I've seen a couple of people like off and on, but that's about as far as I really know.
like it's just like I feel like Vine was like cool and it was genuinely funny, and now it's just I don't know. With TikTok, it's just I don't know. It's getting annoying. I don't know. To me, like
Yeah.
maybe I'm just like the odd man out.
Well,
like,
when Vine was like a thing, and I was working at Home Depot, I would actually sit down on my break and watch Vine for the 15 or 30-minute break that I had because like it was simple that like when it was finally over for my break, I could just walk out. You know.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't have to worry about trying to finish up a video. I mean, the videos are finished by the time that there is, but I don't know. It's just it was easy, and I've also never downloaded like once Vine died, and then you had Musically, and then they went from Musically to TikTok. I saw some of the content that promoted Musically, and it was all like I want to say probably 18 to 24-year-olds dancing a lot of the time, and then I was just like I'm not interested in a dancing app, and then it went to TikTok, and it was just so much worse. And I mean, Eli sent me some some Jesus, some TikToks that are actually genuinely funny. So I know that there's good ones out there. I have never cared to actually download the app and find out myself, which is probably why I don't like TikTok.
Eli is a friend of ours.
Yeah, he's addicted to fucking TikTok sometimes because like I swear whenever there's some whenever he and I are just talking about something, he'll just send me a TikTok, or like I'll wake up in the morning and it's like a message from Eli, TikTok, and I'm like, at least I can trust that the ones that he sends me are funny.
That's the way my fucking family is. Like literally, my mom and my sister-in-law are like the worst ones in our family. Like,
Sure.
And that's the thing. Like, it's mostly I feel like women that like. I don't know if that's sexist or anything to say like that, but I feel like it's mostly women that get a kick out of apps and doing shit like that. Like we have a group chat that that we have with our family, and I get sent. I shit you not, probably like 10 TikTok messages or videos per day on this group chat. I actually I don't know if I should be ashamed to say this, but I actually muted the chat just because I didn't want to hear it anymore or just see them.
That. I would probably do the same.
And it's just every time there's a new trend, you know,
somebody we gotta try this.
It's like I'm being forced to hear about it, and there will be probably another one next week. The week after that, and the week after that, and it's I can't keep up with them anymore.
I've given up on them altogether. The last trend that I participated in was the ice bucket challenge.
That was the last trend.
There's a video of me online dumping a bucket of ice on my head. I didn't have a bucket. I had a trash can. So we took the trash.
There wasn't a bucket nearby.
No, I didn't own a bucket at the time. So I mean, I was living in a 2-bedroom apartment by myself. I didn't own a fucking bucket. What am I gonna do? Go outside and water the side of the apartment building? Come on. So I didn't own a bucket, but I owned a trash can. So we took out the trash bag, and I was like, I don't remember if we washed it or not. I hope that we did.
Oh,
I don't
Lord.
know. I can't remember. I'm sure that we did because I feel like I'm smarter than
You're
that.
finding this out now.
But I don't know if we washed it out. So we went outside, and we used the hose on the side of the building to fill the trash can about halfway, about as much of a bucket. And Ben stood on this little ledge behind me, and I was standing in front of it, and I was eating pizza. I had pizza in my hand. I remember that I was like, "Oh, this person nominated me, and that fucking blows. I nominate these 3 people because I want them to also deal with me."
Mm-hmm.
And okay, I'll do it. And then I just took a rip off of my big old pizza slice. I was chewing it, and then he just dumped this big fucking bucket that was actually... We went out and bought 2 10-pound bags of ice, from the front of a convenience store.
10 pounds?
Yeah, no bites, Lincoln. But we bought a couple pounds of ice, and we tossed that in there, so the thing was heavy as fuck. So he picked it up and just dumped it over my head, and I was like, yeah, that's cold. No, I get it. I think that's where the video ended.
Oh, God.
Yeah, it was not a fun situation. And I think we recorded at 2 o'clock in the morning, of course.
At 2 in the morning?
Because I'm kind of dumb. I figured, why not?
I think the last time I participated in that challenge was God, I don't know, like 5-6 years ago, something like that.
Sure.
Like, I mean, it was for a great cause, which was awesome. Like, what was it for, ALS?
For ALS, it's. I mean, I think we donated like $20 to it when we did it because we didn't just want to be another person online just doing the video and nothing else.
I should have donated. I know that my family donated. I can't remember how much it was.
Well, at least they donated though. At least you guys had a helping hand in it. A lot of people just did it for like the clicks online and the internet fame that never came. Kind of like we're doing a podcast and wondering if we'll have an internet fame one day.
Exactly. Like, I'm not holding my breath, but
I don't want to be famous for it. I just want to do it and have people enjoy it.
Yeah, and see if maybe anybody gets a kick out of it.
Yeah,
like,
if people enjoy it, I want to keep making it.
Even if it's like 30 people. One laugh off of this, I will have.
You mean a laugh other than our own?
Purpose, like what?
Does he mean a laugh other than our own?
Other than our own, yeah, exactly.
But yeah, I mean, if we get like 10 people that would follow this and watch it and would look forward to it, I'd be thinking that was a good amount of money spent for all the equipment.
Exactly. Like, wait, what were we talking about? ALS.
ALS. We were talking about a lot of different things.
Wait, I actually did it, but I wonder if like my family kept the video somewhere.
I'm sure they did. Knowing your mom.
Yeah, she probably keeps she probably has all of it like hidden away somewhere. But I did it. My little brothers, my mom, my stepfather, my sister-in-law. I forgot who it was who nominated me, and I forgot who I nominated.
Sure.
I'm pretty sure I nominated like some family members. But yeah, like it was cool, like see, like that's one trend like that I don't mind, because at least you're trying to help other people, and at the same time you're trying to introduce a little humor, to kind of lighten the mood a little bit.
Yeah. By dumping a bucket over your friend's head.
Yeah. I get like scam likely calls like 30 times a day now.
Yeah, I get mine just say scam. I think it just says scam. I don't think it says scam likely. Just scam. Yeah, they're just like, you scam. That's the one.
I guess it's just because my phone doesn't want to be rude. It's like, it's more than likely a scam, but we don't know for sure.
We're not 100%, but maybe.
Like, we're not just gonna like blanketly say that everything's a scam.
It might not be a scam. Maybe it's your grandma calling from
the grave.
I don't know. October.
Actually, I do have one living grandmother.
Does she live in October?
In October?
Yeah, like the month.
You mean like is her birthday in October?
No, does she permanently live in the month of October? That's what I need to know.
Permanently live in the month of October?
Yeah.
No.
Oh, that's too bad.
No,
she could tell you like what the stock prices were, so you could be able to buy the right stuff.
Oh.
I'm sorry. I tried real hard, and it didn't work out the best way. I had to plug my goddamn phone in. Yeah, so our entire plan today was to be able to do this podcast around. I think we're going to start with the podcast this morning, right?
Yeah, and like we were going to try and do it at a reasonable time. That way we could, we could record everything and then maybe watch movies later. Like,
yeah,
that was the whole plan. We
have the plan to watch all 3 of the Lord of the Rings movies
because he's never seen them, and we just watched like the Hobbit trilogy, which is like the prequels. So it's like the perfect setup for him, so that now he'll get to see like the rest of the movies. But those are like really long movies, especially the last one is like 3 hours long.
We're gonna push through. We're gonna persevere.
Yeah, we're gonna try and like watch all 3 of them today.
Do you have the willpower to do it?
I think I have after willpower. I think I can make that like happen.
Okay.
But the funny thing is
it's
that
gonna
like
take us past 1 a.m. like you usually leave. You know that.
Oh no!
Far past.
Are you kidding me? Like that's gonna be like 7 hours of movie watching minimum. But I'm prepared for it. They're really good movies.
Just making sure we're both on the same page before I pop in Disc 3 and you go, I'm going to go home. And I go, well, fuck. The plan was that he was going to get here to my house at 11 o'clock. Mm-hmm. And we were going to, get stuff ready and make sure all of this was set up by about 12. And then we were going to do the podcast from like 12 to 1 or like till whatever the hell we wanted to stop, obviously. Mm-hmm. And after the podcast was done, I would leave that to edit tomorrow because I can deal with that tomorrow and figure out if the cameras were necessary. And, I mean, if they are, if you're seeing me, that's what I look like. If not, then I can describe to you that I'm the larger one and AJ is the Spanish one.
Exactly.
But, yeah, so we're supposed to do this until about like 1 to 2. and then we're gonna start watching Lord of the Rings and order some pizza, which we've already done.
Yeah, like I
And
already ate like 5 slices.
they were very good though. And we started this. We started this at about 5 o'clock. We're just only really behind schedule.
Yeah, only like a lot because like when I made the plan to like try and get here at 11. That was my goal, but I didn't end up leaving the house until like noon. And when I got here, I thought you might have been dead or like gone. Like 'cause I got here. I got here at what was it like 1:30 after I picked up a few things before coming here, and I got here, and I thought I knocked on the door. There was no answer, and I called you, and like, I didn't get an answer. I called his girlfriend to try and see if maybe she would answer. I didn't get an answer, but
Continue.
so like I didn't get a response, and I knocked on the door. I didn't hear the dog barking, nothing, and I didn't see the car. I was like, "There's no way they could be sleeping." So they must have just gone somewhere.
You underestimate how often I can sleep.
Yeah, like I mean, I've been guilty of that before though, where I've slept like because if nobody wakes me up, I can sleep until like all hours of the day. You know, like sleep. I love sleep. It's like the first thing I think about when I wake up.
Just sleeping again.
I actually dream about sleeping.
You just wake up and you go, "Can't wait to do that again."
That's amazing.
But yeah, no, I was still asleep. I woke up at like 10 when my alarm went off, and I was like, I was up until I think about 6 a.m. last night trying to get everything set up for all this stuff for like the mics and the cameras and the programs and getting that microphone to be set up because it's the new one.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I got to sleep at like 7 o'clock or so, and then I woke back up at 8 or at 10. And I went, okay, I can squeeze another 30 minutes out of this, and then I'll take my shower real quick. He'll be here, and then we'll start. And then I took my extra 30-minute nap, and that 30-minute nap took me all the way until about 1:30, 1:45.
Mm-hmm.
Were you like about to leave once I called you back?
Like yeah, when you called me, I was honestly just sitting outside. I was thinking like, okay, like this is weird because, like I mean, either they're inside sleeping still or they're just like gone somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
But I just like at that point, it was like daunting. I didn't know what to do.
I don't know what did you check my location? You have
like,
the ability to do that.
Like I didn't try checking your location, and I should have. But I was thinking about like honestly, I was thinking like at one point just because like I didn't see your car or whatever, and I didn't and like because I wasn't getting a response from you guys. I was thinking about coming in through the side door. If for nothing else, to just put the beer away that I bought.
I just want this to be cold. That's all.
It's like if nothing else, when he gets here, it'll be cold. You know?
Yeah.
But I didn't want to be a creeper. You know, like I didn't want to like, especially I didn't want to spook you. You know.
Yeah. No, I get that. You walk inside, I'm like on my computer with my headphones on.
Exactly.
Oh, I'd fucking shit.
Or if you shoot me in the face because you think I'm like trying to invade your home.
I would shout out to somebody before I shot them. So don't worry.
It's like,
If you happen to ever have to come in the house, even if I'm asleep in there and like we have plans and you're waking me up, just say it's AJ and just like yell in the house, and then I'll be like, I'm sorry, and you'll be like, it's AJ, and I'm like, okay, I remember I gave him permission to do this. This is fine. But yeah, if that ever happens again, just walk in the side door and just let me know, or come knock on the window. I don't care.
yeah, I didn't want you to think that someone was trying to break into your home.
Yeah, no, the best thing to do would be just to shout who you are when you come inside the house, so that way I don't hear it and then go, all right, this is on.
It's like it's go time.
It's go time. I was like, pull a little pistol out of like underneath my pillow that I keep there at night, and I just go on a murderous rampage of one person in my living room.
It's like I was worried about that too. It's like if he happens to be in there and he thinks that like I'm some person trying to break into his house, he might like either tackle me or just like gun me down. But
Nah.
like I thought, and then I thought, okay,
That
this
one's
is
done now.
yeah, now this one's probably done. But I felt bad too because I made you feel like you were lazy. Like I thought like, man, this dude's sleeping in until 1:30 in the afternoon.
Mm-hmm.
But then you told me you had only gotten like 2 hours of sleep because you were setting everything up to do this today.
I ended up with 5 hours of sleep. That's good. That was helpful. But yeah, no, I messed up royally.
My beer is empty.
That's really unfortunate, bud.
It is.
I'm very sorry. I wish I could give you some good news, but
Yeah, but I mean, luckily there's more. Like every time I come over here, I bring I bring cases of a beer, and I've decided that Kona is now one of my favorite beers of all time. For those of you who don't know, it's a Big Wave Golden Ale brand, like from the Kona Brewing Company. It's fucking amazing.
It's very
Like, I
good.
love it. Like, he introduced me to it.
It's good stuff.
Like, up until then, like, my favorite beer was the Corona. Like,
Yeah, you pleb. Just having the most basic beer possible.
it's good beer, damn it. But you know, like how like everyone like whenever you ordered a Corona in a bar now after all this shit started happening.
Oh yeah. I mean, I haven't done it yet. I haven't been to a bar since all this stuff started happening.
Yeah, like everyone would just give you a dirty look, like who do you think you are ordering a Corona? You know,
In this day and age, in my Christian white suburban neighborhood.
it's like people just find anything to get butthurt about now.
Yeah, well, people want to be upset because look at my dog just barking up a damn storm back there. But yeah, no, I like Corona. I like Corona because of you. Like I never really cared about it before.
Really?
But yeah, no, I didn't really give a shit. I only drank Guinness, really. Like I drank a
Guinness.
lot of different beers because when I turned 21, I decided that like I wanted to be able to drink beer, but I didn't want to think that it's disgusting. So Ben and I decided that we were going to go out and do like the create your own six pack things. And when we did the create your own six packs, we would just buy like one of each different type of beer we thought was interesting. We bought an entire like six set, like a set of 6 beer glasses. So that way, like whatever the beer was, we had the glass that went with it. You know what I mean? So that way it was like kind of both of them.
Like the Pilsner glasses, like
Yeah, I have like all those.
really?
Yeah, I have the flutes for the champagne. I have the stuff for beer. I have it for like a a hoppy extra taste or whatever it may be.
Like remember when we did that with not with the Pilsner glasses, but with the like the create your own
Guinness
six
glass?
pack.
Oh,
like
yeah. Oh my God, that was a goddamn
a couple weeks
catastrophe.
ago, like when we were looking for a very particular brand of beer. It was like Shipyard. Like we were trying to get
Yeah, Shipyard Pumpkin Ale or
Pumpkin Ale.
Pumpkinhead.
or Pumpkinhead Ale. Yeah, Pumpkinhead Shipyard.
Shipyard. It's the Pumpkinhead series. I don't know. Pumpkinhead or
I
Shipyard
think
Pumpkinhead.
it's called. I think the flavor is Shipyard, and
No, the brand is Shipyard.
the brand is I can't remember which way it is, but
Regardless, Shipyard Pumpkinhead Ale of some sort or another.
yeah, but like we love that type of beer because it's like the beer we drink when we go to Universal for Halloween Horror Nights. That's
It's a
like
staple.
Yeah, that's like
It's
what
the
we
best
think
beer
of.
they got.
And it's finally like with fall being here and the holiday season coming around, he discovered that there's pumpkin ale now finally being sold in stores, but he was lucky enough to find some. And
I think that it was always sold in stores. Just this time, I was like, hell yeah, we're buying it.
Yeah, like we actually tried to go out and try to buy some more, but we couldn't find it anywhere. He literally drove us to like 5 different stores. Like we went to, what was it, 3 different Publix?
3 different Publixes, a Walmart,
and a liquor store.
Yeah.
And we finally found individual bottles sold at Publix. This one Publix we went to, but they didn't like have like the
So they didn't have
carrying cases.
Yeah, so we went to this Publix. Like after going to 4 of them, we finally ended up at the last Publix where we found it, and they didn't have any 6-packs available. So we were like, okay, you don't have any 6-packs. I get that. So what do we have for an option? And they're like, oh, and they said they had some in stock. So we waited over in the beer aisle. The guy was checking for ones that are in stock. Oh, excuse me. So when we were checking around for stuff in stock, we were like, okay, well, we'll have to take a chance to be able to just walk around the beer aisle, see if maybe we can find it. Like it was misstocked somewhere. And we found the area where you can create your own 6-pack, and you can do the single beers, where you can buy them and like try out a whole bunch of different types. And we're like, okay, perfect. Let's see how many there are. They had 12, so just enough for a 6-pack or for 2 6-packs, which is exactly what we wanted. We're like, all right, awesome. We'll go ahead and pick these up, and we made a deal with the manager that was helping us, and said that like we'll buy the 2 6-packs if we can buy them at the same price that the regular 6-packs would have been, because they don't have any. So they agreed to do that, and they didn't have any 6-pack cases, like the actual carrying cases for the create your own 6-pack. So yeah, tell them what happened.
So like the manager, like it was very helpful to his credit. Like It was amazing, but it would just got it's like to be such a ridiculous situation because the manager went and found another employee who they both came back together to try and find like bags, but they couldn't find them either. So they ended up bringing us individual wine
Wine
bags
bags, yeah.
so that we could
like paper wine bags.
paper wine bags so that we could bring each individual bottle. And they brought us a basket, brought us the bags, and we just painstakingly took all the bottles off the shelf, put them into bags, and we carried them up to the customer service
counter,
desk.
yeah.
And that's when we told the person at the desk, we were like, oh,
We're like, I'm sorry this is happening right now, but it's gonna happen.
yeah, it's like okay, so the manager told us that we could get these bottles for the 6-pack price instead of the individual bottle prices,
Yeah.
right? Like, so we ended up getting them for what was it, $10?
Yeah, $10 a piece. But
And-
it was just the most irritating way to buy anything ever. Because we
Yeah.
put like 2 bottles in each one of the wine bags, put those inside of a basket, went up to the front, scanned them all, and then had to put, what did we put, 3 wine bags, or no, 2 wine bags into a regular bag. So we now have, what's that, 4 bags full of 2 bags each for beer. It was a pain in the ass.
Yeah, it was. I mean, we made it work, and like
Yeah.
the employees and the manager were so helpful. You know, it was ridiculous. You know, that's the kind of customer service experience I guess you get at Publix.
Yeah, at
But-
Publix versus shopping at fucking Walmart.
Like, but it was just crazy, like what we did to, and like to get
The
those
amount of work we
beer,
went through to be able to get
those
that
beer
beer.
bottles out of there. And I don't know what's crazier, the fact that they went to such great lengths to help us get the beer out of there, or that we stood there and went through the trouble to make that happen just to
Were
get
they really
this
good
brand
employees,
of beer.
or are we really alcoholics? That's the question we need to
And
ask.
it's like we
ourselves.
need this brand of beer right now, sir. We need to get them out of the store. And it's like, but it was great. Like, and that's just like for one brand of beer that we love to get. I'm so glad that like you actually love beer, because I feel like I don't hang out with a lot of people that like beer.
Yeah,
like-
that's good. I enjoy it.
Yeah, a lot
I
of
only drink it
people-
when you're here, but yeah, I enjoy it.
Yeah, but a lot of people I know, or not a lot of people I know, I should say, like to drink beer. It's really weird.
Yeah,
Like, I'm like the only one who loves trying new beers.
I love
Like,
it. When it comes to trying new beers, I will do it 100% of the time, all the time.
Yeah, and I love it. Like, when you introduced me to Guinness,
Or that
like
black velvet over at
oh,
Epcot.
I was just gonna say
Oh.
we went to Epcot one time. We went to the
Rose and Crown.
the Rose and Crown
So-
in the what was it, the England Pavilion?
Yeah,
at
the
Epcot?
England Pavilion. I'll give you where actually I found about it because it was never on the menu before. And the way I found it is when I went to, I think it was the first time that I went to Epcot when I was 21, but it might have been, no, because that was the first time that I bought anything there. It might have been like a stay after. But I had gone to the Rose and Crown because I went through the entire World Showcase and tried one beer or one liquor, sometimes both, from every single one of the countries. I was like, this is the day I'm gonna have. That's why we had a hotel. We were using like regular transportation through Disney. I was like, this is what we're gonna do. And the way that I found out about it is actually as I was doing my whole World Showcase tour, and I was going from country to country, and I was trying, like the different beers or different liquors or both or whatever. I decided that when I was going to England, I'd go into the Rose and Crown. And when I was in there was a kid that was from England. Is from England or is from Ireland? No, he was from Ireland. Mm-hmm. And he was from Ireland. He was on his CP. Like, he was one of the college kids. And while he was there, I was like, hey, I'm looking for something a little different. Like, what would you say is like a good drink to try? Mm-hmm. And he's like, well, what do you like? I'm like, well, I like Guinness. I enjoy it. And he goes, well, actually back home, there's this drink that we used to make in the summertime that's like super refreshing. It's like nice and crisp. And I was like, okay, what is it? He goes, it's a black velvet. He says, it's not on the menu, but I'll just charge you for something that's very similar, and I'll make it for you. He was like, it's delicious. Trust me, you'll enjoy it. And then he made me one, and I was like, oh, hell yeah, this thing is fantastic. It's 2 parts. The bottom part is first you pour in the Strongbow hard cider. If you do it with cider, it's supposed to be a poor man's black velvet,
Mm-hmm.
but you're supposed to do it with champagne, which is a rich man's black velvet. Never tried it like that. Um, but it's Guinness on the top, right? I'm not getting that wrong.
Yeah, I think it's the apples the hard cider first,
Hard cider on the bottom, and then you put a spoon down
the
or
Guinness.
something. Unless, I mean, if you're like a crackhead and you don't have the money for like a pouring spoon, what I did is I just took an actual spoon that I didn't care about anymore and I bent it backwards, and I just slowly, yeah, that's right, it is the Guinness, and then I slowly poured the Guinness into the middle of it to be able to get it to sit on top of the other because they both have different densities,
Hmm.
and you fill up the rest of the glass with the Guinness. And if you get the levels just right, to where you get the cider and the Guinness on the first try, that's how it'll be through the rest of the glass, and it is just, oh my god, that thing is amazing.
And it's just like when I first heard about it, I just thought like, excuse me, that it was the strangest combination, like one of the strangest combinations I like heard for a
His
drink.
camera died.
Oh yeah, it did. Okay, I was wondering what that sound was.
Yeah,
But yeah, and but then I tried it and I was like, this is fucking amazing.
it's really
Like,
good.
and that's the case for a lot of the drinks over there at the Rosencrown.
Yeah, the Rosencrown, it's
Yeah.
so good.
We also tried the what is it? The I think the
Oh, one
my
of the
girlfriend
mixed
gets the leaping leprechaun or what is it? What's it called?
leprechaun.
Or something like that, like the lucky leprechaun or
The
some,
lucky, the
some
leaping leprechaun, the lucky
the
leprechaun.
leprechaun is in the title somewhere. I'm not even sure.
My main issue with, I don't even want to say with Disney, just with eating at Disney, is that it costs so much money.
Mm-hmm.
It costs so
Yep, it
extremely
does.
expensive. And when I can go, like, there's a place over here in Orlando that we go to called Oh Shucks, and they do they do nickel beers on Wednesdays before the pandemic anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah. And when I'm invited out to that, I'll go because when it's a nickel for a beer, I can swing that. That's not a big deal to me. However, when it is a
Oh, yeah.
$7 beer from Disney, and I'm like, great, I can have two of these and go bankrupt.
Exactly.
Like the point that I have to drinking beer is not just to enjoy a beer. If I'm gonna drink beer, I'm usually going to do it to have an effect. And two beers are not going to have an effect on me. I'm sorry.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a waste of money to me. I just drank something that was not as good as Coca-Cola for 3 times the price as Coca-Cola.
Yeah, see, like, with me, it's the opposite effect. Like, I'm, like, kind of like a lightweight, so
I wish
if
I was a lightweight. Oh God, how
a
beautiful
lot of
that
people
would be.
say that, like, and I wish I wasn't.
I wish it was.
Because, like, I'm not, like, a huge lightweight, it's not like, I'll get tipsy off of one beer, but, if I drink a couple, I can definitely feel it, so I can enjoy it,
Sure.
in every sense of the word, So that's why I like beer, because it'll give you, a buzzed feeling, after a couple of them, at least for me.
Yeah.
And I still like the taste, with the beers that I drink. So it's like an enjoyable experience,
Yeah.
And when I like start to reach that point where I'm like just kind of like between buzzed and drunk,
Sure.
like like my shyness just completely disappears.
That's when we should have gotten you a girl.
Like,
If we were hanging out before you were already in a relationship.
yeah, wait,
We
maybe
hung out
that
a
would
couple
help
times,
a lot.
but, like, yeah.
But like, yeah, I have no. I gotta understand why I'm yawning so much.
I told you the other day, man, your brain needs oxygen.
Yeah, I guess so.
Stop
I
depraving
need
it.
to breathe.
Just need to breathe.
Yeah, when I drink, like I get, like my shyness completely disappears. Like I have no filter, and I just kind of like talk.
Yeah.
Like, I do three things when I'm drunk. Like I laugh a lot.
Yeah.
I talk I talk a lot without a filter,
Yeah.
and I really just talk to everybody. Like it doesn't matter like who you are, even if I've never spoken to you before. Like I just kind of like.
Well, that's like when we were in
Which
the
is something I
bar.
would never do if I was sober. Like I'm just like, because I'm like a huge introvert. Like,
Yeah.
If I'm not really already comfortable with somebody, like
You're pretty shy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Chances are I'm not going to talk to you.
The one time that you've seen me drunk outside of my own house was that one time that we were at Nichols and I got just blasted. It was bad. Like when we were singing Creed apparently we were singing With Arms Wide Open by Creed louder than the guy that was doing it on karaoke. His voice was coming through the speakers and we were still drowning him out, and that's embarrassing, but I didn't know. I was having a good time. So were you, I hope.
No,
From
it's
the
always
way
a
you were
good
looking,
time.
it looked like you were having a good time. But that was the only time that I've been drunk outside of my own house before. And it was interesting. I'm just glad I didn't throw up. I'm glad I didn't have to use the bathroom over there because that would have just been disastrous.
Yeah, you didn't want to be like me over
Yeah,
there.
no, I don't want to. I don't want to do that. And I just, yeah, it's the only time I ever gotten drunk outside of my house. And there was a guy who came up to me, and he was like, "Hey man, can I bum a cigarette from you?" And I was like, "Bro, you can have a cigarette anytime. My best fucking friend." I think I threw it at him. And yeah, it wasn't my finest moment, but yeah, I'm pretty certain that he like came over to me and like put his arm on my shoulder, and I was like, "Yeah, can you bump a cigarette?" I'm like, "Yeah, bro." Took it out of the pack and tossed it back at him, and he was like, "Thanks," and walked off. I don't even know if he caught it. I immediately stopped caring about him existing.
You know, but like for that brief moment where you're that drunk where anyone you talk to immediately becomes your best friend.
Oh yeah,
It's like that's so great.
it's a great point, but it's also the point you need to stop drinking and go home.
Yeah,
Start
exactly.
getting into a car somewhere.
Like, which was me every time we ever went to like nickel beer, like at Oh Shucks became like my favorite weekly event. That was like our hangout, like our home away from home.
Yeah, it was.
Like it was like a
I miss it.
tradition. Even more so in the past. Like
Rip.
you know, it was just something we did like all the freaking time.
Every week.
It was great.
For the most part, we did it every week, at least every other week.
I know it was
It
amazing.
was a great way to get everybody from work all together and just enjoy ourselves. But
Like we had our own little spot, our own routine,
it
What?
sucks. COVID has taken everything from us, including our ability to get inebriated in public. And
Exactly.
that's what I'm really upset about. That's what the world needs to understand, is that I want to be drunk in public again, and COVID is not letting me safely get
COVID's
drunk
not
in
letting me
public.
do anything. Like now it's like you can do a little bit more, outside.
Yeah, but it's not the same.
It's not. Like you can do a lot more outside, but it's never the same. You feel like you're in danger all the time,
Yeah.
or you feel like you shouldn't be out, period.
Yeah, that's how I feel a lot of the time when I'm out, like out doing something other than just grocery shopping. If I'm like going to Best Buy to go pick up a cable or something like that, I'm like, I don't need to be out. I could have had this delivered to my house. I'm around people. This is gonna be telling them I'm gonna catch corona. And like, I'm not an anti-mask wearer or anything like that.
Me
I
either.
will. I would love if the masks became a thing after coronavirus for like certain places. Hell yeah, I don't want you to sneeze on me. Stay away from me.
Yeah, it's like if you even so much as you breathe in a certain way, like
Yeah.
close to me, that doesn't sound like okay. Just like stay away, like keep
Yeah,
your distance,
exactly.
like social distance, please.
Social distance plus some.
Exactly.
like, I
fuck
want you to
6
have
feet, do 12 feet.
Oh man, I burped and hiccuped at the same time. I don't recommend doing that. But yeah, I want that anti-social distance, not anti-social distancing, anti-social distance.
Yeah, and like
Get away from
it's
me.
a distance of 12 feet away.
Yeah,
It's twice as
12
far.
or more feet, please. If you
There's
can read
social
my
distancing,
shirt,
and then there's anti-social distance.
I want a shirt that in large letters says, "If you can read this, you're too close to me." Like, I don't want one that's like super small, like the usual comedy one. I want it to be the largest lettering possible. It just says, "If you can read this, get away."
It's like respect my goddamn personal space,
Respect
especially
my
during
personal
COVID.
I want your personal space to also be the distance between you and myself. Please.
Like God, but I miss it so much. And you know what sucks is that things are probably never gonna go back to being the same ever again.
They will, to a certain extent, in the next like couple of years or so, but it'll
Is it people
It'll
are
be a
never
little while.
gonna feel like okay, like going next to somebody, they're never gonna feel at ease. Or maybe I'm exaggerating. Maybe it'll be. I just feel like it's gonna be a really long time before people feel comfortable going into a restaurant or a movie theater
Sure.
and not wearing a mask.
yeah.
It's become such a hot topic now.
To just not wear a mask or to wear a mask.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, and
I can
it's-
understand that.
It really sucks. I just want things to go back to normal. I want to go back to, to hanging out with friends the way that I used to. Go
Yeah.
back to oh shucks. That's
I just want to be able to get together and do stuff again. Like, I'd say the one thing that COVID took from us this year, I mean, minus all the people, of course. Like, my uncle died from it. My cousin was put into the hospital for like 3 weeks because of it. But the only thing that really made this year different, like all the other things I can kind of live without, all the things that like we are without right now,
Uh-huh.
like the parks not being at capacity and certain things like that, and certain experiences. Whatever. I'm fine with social distancing because it doesn't bother me a whole lot.
Oh God, don't even get me started on the experiences we're missing out on this year because
That's what I was leading up to. It could take my the fact that I can't go places after a certain time, I can't do things at a certain time of the night, I shouldn't be doing what have you, or mask, social distance. I'm fine with all of that. And I know there was no way for them to be able to get over this hurdle because of just the nature of the event, but Halloween Horror Nights was canceled this year, which is the unfortunate thing. I'm not upset about it because, I mean, I'm upset that it got canceled, but I'm not upset that they canceled it. Does that make sense?
No, yeah, it makes perfect sense. Like, I mean, I know why they had to. I just wish they didn't have to.
Yeah.
It was, I went through changes, like, because, like, for those people that know me, anyone who knows me knows that I love Halloween Horror Nights. It's like my yearly thing. Halloween is my favorite holiday of the year. I look forward to it. Like, I go all out. I get a costume, I get with friends, family, and I go to Halloween Horror Nights. I buy the frequent fear pass, so that I can go multiple nights a year. I buy all the merchandise, I buy cups, t-shirts,
This man is a living, like, spokesperson for Halloween Horror Nights.
I am.
He's
like,
the reason that I buy a pass to Horror Nights every year. I actually became a team member at Universal around, what was it, August?
just so you could
Just
go
so I
to
could
the
go to
event.
Horror Nights for free because I was a broke ass boy, and so I got a job at Universal for I mean, it was half because I had to quit eventually. It was half because Halloween Horror Nights was over. That was a big reason, but the other half was because of the fact that I just their schedule never worked out with my other job, and I just couldn't do it. But like, yeah, that's what pushed me into getting a Universal job, is so we can go to Horror Nights and I could go for free, so we can actually try it. He's the biggest spokesperson that I know for it, and he's right. I mean, if you're not terrified of everything, like you, to where you stand still and poop yourself, if you can handle a little bit of spooky, if you go with some friends, have a couple of drinks, it's really, really fun.
Yeah, it's a great time. You got to go with the right people, and you got to make sure that you, in my opinion, get one of the passes. You don't have to get like a frequent fear pass or whatever, but like get like
Just get a day pass to try it out.
Yeah, like,
You know,
and
for a
if
weekend.
you do like it, get like passes to
Then you buy
a lot of
shirts,
them.
you buy merch, you buy a regular annual pass.
You buy costumes.
You buy
the-
costumes.
The drinks. You buy everything.
If they have a specialty novelty cup, I don't care if you live in Wisconsin, you come back every week, come get that cup. That's what this man is saying right now.
Exactly. Like, I cannot tell you how freaking disappointed I was to hear that it got canceled this year.
Plus, they had
Like,
that whole tribute store thing opened up, which was
Yeah,
kind of
they-
like, it
Is
was
it
like,
just a way to piss people off? To
I don't
remind us
know.
of like what could have been?
they have like some 30th anniversary stuff, but in the whole Beetlejuice room, that, I don't know. It's just having a store where usually I'm like pumped to go and shop in because I enjoyed Halloween Horror Nights so much and I wanted to show people that I was there. Having a store just for shirts of a Horror Nights that didn't happen, or whatever their bastardized version of it is right now,
It's just kind of sad.
it's just, I'm not excited about any of the merch. I don't want a shirt. I don't want a pin. I don't want a cup. It didn't exist. So why do I want merchandise from it?
If when I heard that news, like Halloween was just canceled for me.
Right?
Like it just felt like what's the point in celebrating this?
Well, we
year?
have a coffin in my house, and I have a new doormat coming in that is Shining themed. So you know what? Halloween's still on for me, kinda.
It is still for me. Like I'll find other shit to do. I'm being I'm exaggerating.
You're upset.
I'm upset.
You're
I'm
upset.
legit like I'm pissed. But supposedly now they're doing like a whole thing for Universal. Now they just got like Universal just filed for building permits so that they can, what is it? They announced 2 houses that might be like they might be doing some kind of smaller event for Halloween Horror Nights this year.
Okay.
Like
Yeah, well, they're doing like I think they already opened up the 2 houses.
yeah, what was it? The Bride of Frankenstein.
Bride of Frankenstein and
and the
Tooth
Tooth
Fairy
Man.
Revenge or something like that.
Which sound ridiculous.
Yeah.
But hey, if it's something, give me something,
Yeah, but they from what I saw online, from what people were talking about, they applied for 4 building permits. I think that's 2 of them, so there might still be 2 more houses.
Yeah, maybe. I guess we'll find out as like time goes on, but I really hope they do something. Although, and I've brought this up before, I refuse to pay like the same amount of money.
Oh no, I'm not
for a
paying any
pass.
money extra for it.
Yeah, like I mean, if they want to do a little, you happen to have an annual pass and you go into the park and it's like a one-time, little fee to go and check the houses out, or it's like $50 or like something like around that price to go in and experience it for just the one time, then so be it. But from what I understand, there's not going to be any scare zones. There's not going to be
Nope.
any, decorations throughout the park. So
Nope.
there's no reason to charge, insane amounts of money for whatever it is they plan on doing, if anything.
Yeah, as far as I understand, it's just the houses and merchandise.
Yeah. So
Plus, it's not even at night; it's during the day. Which I'm sorry, but like, I don't mind wearing a mask. I really don't. Even when I've gone to Universal so far during the day. I mean, sure, you have to take a breather every once in a while and just be like, pull your mask down when you're not around anybody and you're like back in a secluded area just to be able to let some of the heat out of your mask or go to the bathroom to do so. And that sucks. And having to like wipe your face of all the sweat because in Florida with the humidity, with the heat, with just being outside in the middle of the day when it's like 97 degrees, then you got a mask on and you're walking around a theme park, like it'll get to you. But if I have to do horror nights during the day on top of all that and then pay extra for it, the answer for me is no.
yeah,
I won't
yeah.
go.
It's just they have to be reasonable about it, because I mean, if you want people to experience it, you gotta kind of meet them halfway if you
Yeah.
want them to do that, especially with everything going on. Because I mean, there are diehard fans of it that want to experience, whatever it is you're providing them, but you know, you're giving them just a taste of it. So just offer it at a reasonable price.
Sure.
You know.
I said that if it's more than $50, if they open the four houses, if it is $40 or under, I'll buy it.
Me too.
But $50 or over, the answer is no. I'm sorry, I just won't. Because the regular frequent fear pass is what, a hundred and
$50.
yeah, $150.
Yeah, depending on which one you buy.
Yeah, it's like around I'm gonna say $120. We'll call it a median of 120, and that's for usually 10 houses with intellectual properties in the houses with a lot of merch, and then you also get the park from they close on the park I think at like 5.
5:30, 6 o'clock, something like
Yeah,
that.
and then you have full reign of the park for just people that bought tickets to Horror Nights to run from then until like 1 a.m.
Yeah,
And you have specialty drinks, and you have scare zones, and there's music, and there's shows, and you have all this other stuff that you get with it. And it's not $40 for 4 houses, like $10
is
a
reasonable,
piece.
but
It could be reasonable, depending on the quality of the houses.
yeah, maybe. I mean, but this is Universal. That we're
They're
talking about,
usually
so
less
they're-
expensive than Disney. They're more reasonable with their pricing for stuff.
Exactly. And which is a whole other thing because like Mickey's Not So Scary is not happening this year.
Yeah, nor
which
is a Very Merry Christmas Party.
Yeah, which sucks, because like I've been to the
Yeah.
Very Merry Christmas Party,
Hmm.
and I mean, it was all right.
It's been a
for
couple
me.
of years for me. I don't think it's worth the extra money, personally.
Honestly, I really don't either.
I don't think like
But
either
I've
of them are
never
worth extra
been
money.
to the
Not So
Mickey's Not So
Scary?
Scary.
Mickey's Not So Scary is it's good because it like it has extra characters that you can do meet and greets with at night that weren't usually
That's
out
what
there.
a lot of people tell me.
And you get
And-
the candy. That's the two things that I can really say about it because they don't add anything to the park for like they're not so scary. Like Halloween Horror Nights is 100% worth a ticket because you have 10 haunted houses to go through on top of scare zones, and it's an experience.
Mm-hmm.
It's just an overlay over the park for Disney, which is why I've never cared to pay the price to be able to go and do it again.
Exactly. And then people like offer the complaint that like, oh, well, doesn't it get tiring because like after like the third time you've gone, like you already know where all the actors are and it's not scary anymore. But I mean, yeah, I mean to a certain extent that is true,
Yeah.
but at the same time, it's more for me to experience it with other people.
Yeah, to see how their
than it
reactions
is-
are.
Exactly. I love seeing people's reactions, getting scared in those houses.
Oh, you mean like the
Like,
first couple times you brought me?
oh yeah, absolutely. I love fucking with people in those houses, man.
You are
It's
horrible
great.
when it comes to a Horror Nights house. The first time I went to Horror Nights was with him, by ourselves, just me and him. And I told him, like, this shit is spooky to me. Like, I don't like people jumping out at me. I
He
don't
was
like
terrified at first.
I'm claustrophobic to a certain extent, so I don't like closed in spaces. I don't like the dark being like complete darkness. I hate being startled. I hate being jump scared. And I don't like feeling like I'm in danger because, all these things point toward you might die. So like a normal fucking human, I wasn't a big fan of them, and then you decided, oh yeah, let's go to Horror Nights, let's go. You prodded me for probably like 3 months over it to finally get me to say
And
yes.
I can't believe I finally convinced him to go.
Yeah, so I finally went, and it was fun. I think the first house that we ever did was Stranger Things.
Either that
The
or
first year.
Poltergeist or like.
No, I think Poltergeist was second. Because I want to say Stranger Things was first. Because you were like,
They
oh,
may have been
Stranger
Stranger
Things were
Things.
like is an
Yeah.
easy way to like ease into it. So we went in Stranger Things. It was all right. It was pretty cool. And yeah, we went to Poltergeist, and my God, it was great because like I loved how accurate the house was to the movie,
Mm-hmm.
which I love the Poltergeist movie.
Their
But like,
theming is always great.
oh yeah, but like I was dying in some of those houses. I can't remember what it was last year. Like there was one of the houses where I was like, I won't go through that again. Or
It was
the,
like
the first
guys on
year.
stilts inside the houses and the.
Well, there was a guy. The whole reason is because the first time that I went to Universal, yeah, it was the first time I went to Universal, was when the Mummy Returns ride just came out.
Mm-mm.
And I had just finished building it, and it was like 2 or 3 months after that. So they were still like really heavy in like the theming of the ride. So my friend Cameron and I, we had gone to Universal, and his parents had picked up the express passes for us. So we rode the Mummy 16 times in one day.
Mm.
But after the second time that I was riding it, I was terrified of the hallways because, and again, I was in 6th grade when this happened. I could be misremembering it. I hope to God I'm misremembering it. But we were walking through the hallways to get onto the ride for the second or third time, and there was a guy standing. I want to say he was on stilts. Might have been because I was shorter, to be honest with you, but a real tall guy standing in the corner. So like you come up and you take a right, and then you walk like maybe 5 feet and then take another left, and that corner is super dark. So I was talking with Cameron and we were walking, and as I was turning that corner, the guy came down and nearly touched me, which I understand is the whole goal is to almost touch somebody, but he almost touched me, and I freaked out and I turned around and I swung, and because he was so tall, I missed his chest and just like in the air underneath it. And then I ran away because that was scary, and also I just almost hit a person. And ever since then, I've just been terrified of people like jumping out at me and me immediately wanting to swing at them because I knew that was now like I now knew that was the response that I would give. So yeah, I never wanted to do it.
Because he's told me stories like this before, where he's almost attacked someone who scared him, and I told him, please don't do that in the parks. Like, because if you attack a scare actor, they're gonna remove us, and I love this event, so please don't get us kicked out.
I don't think you get kicked out with me. It'll just be me. I'd be like, he's not a part of it at all. Like, I punched the guy, I'll admit, but like, why'd you do that to me? You paid for this, sir. No,
You paid to get
God.
to get punched in the face.
honestly. And then it was when I got kicked out of Hello Scream. They told me that I was banned, but I've had a pass since then, so I'm imagining that they didn't ban my name.
I wonder if we went to Hollow Scream, if you could actually get back in.
Oh, I'm sure I could.
I may or may not go to Hollow Scream this year.
I'm not going to. With
Yeah.
everything that's going on right now with the coronavirus and stuff, I'm not gonna chance going to a park where people are gonna be smushed together. Like I understand that a lot of them are social distancing, but this is Busch Gardens we're talking about.
Yeah,
They're
there's no like rules there.
exactly
Like,
it's the Wild West. I used to go to there a lot when I was a kid.
it's not like
the
Disney
best.
cast members or something where they try to act legit, like keep the order and the structure in the park.
No.
Or even Universal like team members, they
Universal's-
do a better job.
Yeah,
you
they
know?
do a pretty good job. I think at Disney, like when it comes to guest satisfaction, like trying to like be the most like outstanding service, Disney holds the bar pretty high. Universal is really good service without being, fake about it. Like they still know
Disney.
without the
Yes.
Disney like shoving it down your throat. Like it's really good service and it's really good people
But
and
it's not Disney levels of customer service.
it's not Disney level customer service, but they're real. Like they're not gonna be like, oh, this cost 92 pixie dusts. No, they'll be like, it's $92.45. Like, pay
Exactly.
me and get out of my store. But they're really nice about it, and
Like if a ride gets closed down, they're not gonna say like, "Oh,
Yeah.
pardon our pixie dust." Like, Mickey and Donald are just like trying to create a show for you. They're gonna be like, "No, the ride's fucking closed down.
Yeah,
you gotta go
like,
to find something else."
exactly like in Disney, you'd go across, say like, I don't know, let's take the Runaway Railway. They'll be like, oh, it is the Runaway Railway, and it just turned out it ran away in the wrong direction, so we got to get that fixed so that way it's safe for everybody to go back on, okay? And I was like, okay, when are you guys going to reopen? We're not sure. You guys will be posted. Just check your app and you guys can come back soon. That's Disney. And Universal, you walk up and be like, hey, what happened? Be like, the ride's broken down. We don't know when it's going to be back up available. Maybe today, maybe tomorrow. Camera turned off again. Is that camera? Yeah, it was that camera. Which is fine. I'm going to move it for a better video angle to see if maybe it would be more reasonable. But yeah, they would be like, oh yeah, no, the ride's down. We don't know if it's coming back up today. You guys can wait around, or you don't have to wait around. It's up to you. Like, do whatever you'd like to do, but like the ride is currently down. They won't just try to bullshit you and be like, Mickey ran away with the picnic basket, and now we don't know where he's gone.
It's like they're not gonna come up with an elaborate story like that to try and entertain kids, you know. Getting back to like Howl-O-Scream over at Busch Gardens, I mean, I went to Howl-O-Scream last year for the first time, and it was fucking amazing. Like, I'm gonna honestly say that I think their haunted houses are probably better, like, crafted than the haunted houses at Universal.
Really?
You know, they're actually very like imaginative,
They're scary as far as I
and
understand.
they're actually legit scary too. Their scare zones are scarier by a fucking long shot too. Like, I actually like had scare actors like hide in bushes and, you know, and they come out from behind corners and doors. Like, they actually are passionately trying to scare you.
Well, I told you
Which
that's
I
how
appreciate.
I got kicked out of the park because of that.
Yeah.
I
And I understand why now. Like, there was a little girl hiding. Like, I was walking down a fucking trail one time, and she was literally, there was like these bushes, couldn't have been more than a foot off the ground or a foot tall, right? And
Sure.
I'm walking past, and like this girl freaking reaches up and grabs my leg. She's hiding in the bushes. A little, like, maybe 8-year-old girl.
Sure.
Like, scare actors. Like, I freaking jumped, and like fell down, and I'm like, and I was like, you little bitch.
Jesus.
And it was like, and I freaking, it just slipped out,
AJ.
and then it just kind of like walked away because I was just so embarrassed by what had just happened.
should have been. That's horrible. Why would you talk to a little girl like that?
Because I hate her. Oh, no.
That's
like,
also horrible. Are you okay, bud? You all right? You want to talk about something?
it's like, yeah, I was traumatized. I want my money back.
I want my money back. What, from this house?
From the scare zone from last year
was
at
that
Howl-O-Scream. But yeah, dude, their scare zones and their haunted houses are so beautifully done. And it's just a shame that I'm not going to be able to experience that this year because they're.
You can.
Well, no, because like.
Howl-O-Scream.
But for Howl-O-Scream, from what I understand, they're not doing haunted houses this year.
Are they not?
Yeah, they're not doing. They're not doing haunted houses. They're only doing scare zones, which, I mean, yeah, I mean, I guess the scare zones are cool, but that alone is, you know,
Not worth
I don't know
it.
if it's worth it. Because, I mean, first, especially if not for us, because, I mean, shit, you got to make the 1.5-hour drive out to Tampa to go visit the park. And then you have to, you know, pay to get in, which I guess, again, like, if they charge everybody a reasonable price, then I'll go in. But I'm not going to pay regular, you know, entrance pass, like, prices for just just scare zones and no haunted houses.
Sure.
You know, that's not right.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
There we go.
But last year, I think there was something like 8 houses or something like that.
For Howl-O-Scream?
Yeah.
I wish that I kept up with it. I have no idea. I kept up with Horror Nights, and that was about it.
There was this like it was just so amazing, like the way they made their houses. Like the very first one like the one I went on last year, it was like the theme was like it was set in like a southern, like a bayou, like a swamp. Like they had like little
in Howl-O-Scream.
yeah, at Howl-O-Scream.
Okay.
There was like a like little like swamp people, you know, running around or whatever, and like as you get towards the end of the house, they have guys like on these almost like these swings, like they're hanging down from like the ceiling or whatever, and they like catapult towards you.
Oh,
as
yeah, you
walk
told
toward
me
the end.
about this.
Yeah, and it was amazing. Like I legit like jumped and like I almost
You
tripped over myself.
recoiled.
Yeah, which I've never had any of those experiences at Universal. You have it once in a while.
Yeah.
You know, you have maybe one actor that like spooks you and gets you at just the
Like
right
one
moment.
person or two people throughout the entire house will really like get you.
Yeah, but those moments are like far and like few between. I feel like I experienced that a lot more at Hollow Scream, which is what I go there to experience.
I
You know?
think that Hallow Scream, what they have that Universal doesn't is the lack of capacity or the lack of I don't know, just the lack of people coming in the park.
Hmm.
Because Universal just it is lines, and the only way they can get through those lines for each one of the houses is to put them single file and just have them go through the house at a steady pace all the time. Whereas Hallow Scream, usually they just send through each party by themselves, and they pass them through. Like every 10 seconds, they'll pass another party into it. Am I right?
Hmm.
That's how it was when I used to go there.
Yeah, sometimes, and I think with this year, I don't know that I experienced that so much, like the
Was it
individual
more just like
groups.
lines going
It
through?
was like lines, but I think they did it with more like spacing in between people.
Yeah.
So it was
They were already social distancing before they knew they had to.
yeah, basically right, like that, like they knew they had to do that. But it's just like just the care and attention and the imagination that went into each house. Like there was a house where it was like a nuclear holocaust kind of deal where it
Interesting.
was like like doomsday, and you walk through a house and there's like all these people in straight jackets, and there's like a room that looked like it was like closing in on you as you were walking through it.
Interesting.
I'm
Like that
sure
forced
you would have loved
perspective
that
kind
one.
of thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
That would have made me pee pee a little bit.
Yeah, like it was just so cool.
I
The
would
way
have
they
had to
designed
stop
them,
and stare there for a second and be like, the walls are not closing in. I don't need to freak out. The moment for freaking out is soon, but not now.
Exactly. It was so much fun, man. Like, and I wanted to do it again this year, but I don't think that's gonna happen. With everything that's going on.
Shit happens, you know? It is what it is. There's always next year. I'm sure next year they'll be doing them all again, so long as we've actually,
Gotten
smartened
this
up as a
fucking problem
country.
figured out.
Yeah. As long as the country stops trying to say boo-hoo, no more masks, and violates my rights, and just say, oh yeah, if we all wear these masks for a little while, maybe things will get better.
Yeah.
And it's just,
Hey, who would have thought?
just-
Like, who do
if there's, go ahead.
No, it's like I was
gonna
gonna say,
say-
if you wear the masks, like, what do you know? Like, problem tends to go away.
At least for this one, anyway.
Yeah.
I don't understand these people when they're like, oh well, I don't think that it's medically necessary, and like doctors don't know what they're talking about, but it's like, but doctors have been wearing masks for the entirety of their fucking career so far. When they're like 40-year-old Joe Schmo, they have been wearing masks.
And it's like, how did they? And it's like these people that claim, like, oh, it's just a hoax, and the masks don't really help with anything. It's like, how the hell do you know?
Yeah.
Like they want to point the finger and say like
They went on Google, that's why.
Oh, that's what it is, or like memes.
Yeah, not to burst your bubble here, but they have seen memes and they've been on Google once or twice, so they must know better than the doctors.
Oh yeah, like I mean, I'm sure, like believe me, I think I know more than doctors because I watch memes too.
Yeah.
It's just that like I tend to like believe people who have
Credibility.
Like and the experience, and the knowledge.
You'd think that other people would agree, but unfortunately, that's just not the way it works.
Yeah, it's just that, and also it's more of just a what is the right word for it? It's just more of like a convenience thing. I feel like that's what most people like find it so. Why so many people find it so difficult to wear a mask?
Because it's convenient to not wear a mask.
No, because they think it's inconvenient to wear a mask. Like,
I mean, yeah, but I mean, like I'm talking
lot
about
of
like the people who are like, oh, well, it's violating my rights, and I go,
yeah, and that's a bunch of horse shit. Like the real reason these people are not, they're not refusing to wear masks because it's infringing on their freedoms. Like, get the fuck out of here. They're only doing it because they would just prefer not to wear one. It's as simple as that. They just find it physically uncomfortable and they just would rather not wear one to go out in public. It's for selfish reasons. It's like I wear one, and obviously I wouldn't want to wear one. I mean, I would rather not have to wear it, but I wear it because I really don't know, if the virus is as deadly as everyone claims that it is. But just in case, I wear it. It's really not that hard to do. I wear it, and like I can still function perfectly fine with it on. it's just it doesn't hurt anyone for me to just to wear it. It's like, what harm am I causing?
Mm.
If it's real, then I'm protecting myself and other people. If it's not real, okay, well then, I'm gonna wear it anyway because, even if it's not real, I mean, until we find that out, better safe than sorry. And it's really not really that uncomfortable. It's not hard to do. It's not rocket science.
Yeah. It's just putting them on their face, and then the people who have their noses sticking out from them as well, or people that just
Oh,
wear them
for
around their
God's
neck,
sake.
or just have them hanging off their ear. There was one guy that I saw at Target the other day while I was shopping that had his mask just hanging off of one ear, like just hanging there. And it's like, are you trying to like get past the whole you need to wear a mask thing by just hanging it on one ear?
I feel like walking past people who do that and like just like slapping them across the face, like
Oh yeah,
just like, hey asshole, like you if you wear it below your mouth, like you leaving your nose and mouth uncovered, that's not doing anything. You may as well not be wearing it at all, which is the case for most of these people.
hmm
And and then you have people who say like, oh well, it's just people who wear masks, they're just sheep, that
the
are just
sheeple.
believing in everything that the media is telling them, that it's they don't know how to think for themselves. It's like, it has
I
nothing
just
to do with like being independent thinkers. It's just about a better safe than sorry.
Yeah,
you
I
know
don't I don't understand how people can just let go by the wayside safety and what people are telling them. Like, look, this is the safe way to do it. This is how we're going to overcome this. If we all just get along and do this, we'll be fine. And then
exactly.
people go, no, I can't wear a mask.
Is
I
it,
just can't. I can't do it. I won't do it. And then like even worse than those people are the anti-maskers that are outbound or that outward about it. They walk into a store and they say, I'm not wearing a mask because of whatever reason. And even worse than that, there are people that like walk into like another one was a Target. I don't know why it's always fucking Target, by the way. But a guy, because like Target's a nice place, and usually there's not that many people there, and like those people like go to Walmart. Why
yeah,
are they
but
going to the
apparently the
Targets?
people that do go there are like the jackasses, man. Like,
Maybe they're like, oh, nobody cares if it's in a Walmart. I'll do it in a Target, and they'll care. But there was a group of people walking through Target that were just saying, "Take your mask off. You don't need it," and like cheering that
oh
they
my
didn't.
god,
You
wait,
saw
I
that video
saw that video.
with the little
Yeah,
girl in it too, like
yeah,
recording.
and
Yeah.
I was like, oh my. Like, I was reading comments, like, and I don't know if it was just at the time, maybe that people weren't taking it as seriously. Like, people were saying like, "Oh my god, huh, that's hilarious," but I'm thinking like, is this supposed to be a joke? It's like
Mm.
there's a deadly virus going around, and like these people are like, they're like forming like a flash mob inside of a Target,
Yeah.
walking around without their masks on, saying, "Oh, take your mask off, take your mask off." It's like, that's supposed to be a joke. You know,
They think it is a joke to them because they're all like smiling and running around, but it's like
That's like walking into a school and like firing a gun into the air and saying like, "Hey, like, oh, like, everybody follow us," and like do the same thing. It's like,
that is an extreme difference and not at all the same thing at all.
I feel
I
like
hate
it
to call
is.
you out on that, but like it is not the same example
I feel
whatsoever.
like it is because I mean, like, you're deliberately putting other people's safety in jeopardy. Like, how is it really that much different?
Yeah, but when you fire a gun in a school, you don't get the same response as if you won't wear a mask somewhere. People think you're a dick, and
No,
they'll
like,
just avoid you. Some people will come up to you and tell you that you're
well,
a
if
dick to your
people die,
face.
like, if they people get like the virus, then they like just die slowly. If anything, it's like worse.
It's bad, but it wouldn't be like shooting a gun in a school.
I think like it's the very similar in that like it's just like you're deliberately putting other people's lives at risk, and I'm sorry, like that irritates me so much.
I'm gonna say, I'm gonna try and find a better comparison to see if this works.
Mm.
Which is say that because you know that there's a no shoot, no shoes, no shirt, no service, right? It's a thing all over the place. No shirt, no shoes, no service.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if you don't have shoes on, you don't have a shirt on, you can't come in. And say if there was some type of foot thing going around, I don't know, a foot coronavirus of some sort or another, and you have these people walking around, and it's like, okay, all of these stores have instilled the no shoes, no service policy. So now if you do not have shoes on, you cannot come in my store. Though it was normal before, for god awful reasons why, I don't understand. But where it was commonplace before, it is no longer commonplace. You must now have shoes on. This is not a big deal. With masks, doctors have been wearing them forever. We all know that they do like increase safety because it's less bacteria to go through the air, like when we're speaking or when we're breathing the air of other people. And the shoes. A lot of people wear shoes. Most everybody wears shoes at some point in time. But there are people like the guy that I saw last time you were here that fucking walked by with no shoes on, just walking by the apartment. And I'm just like, how do you exist? It just grosses me out. I've been outdoors with no shoes on unless I'm at the beach, in the sand, or I'm at like a water park. And even then, I'd like to have sandals the entire time. I hate it when my bare feet touch the concrete. And I feel like it'd be the same thing as if we were like, you need to wear shoes because if not, you're going to get sick and die. Like, I don't know. Somebody dropped anthrax poison needles all over the country in random locations. You must wear shoes to avoid it. Right?
Yeah, like I was exaggerating a lot earlier, but like
with the gun thing, it was a
with
little far. You realize that now?
The reason I bring that up though is because I just feel like, if you're going into a store and deliberately saying, like I refuse to wear a mask, then how is it any different from like, just like threatening someone's life, if you were like pointing a gun at them or something like that? Because I mean, you're deliberately putting someone's life in danger.
Yeah.
For no reason other than you just want to, you know? And it's because like it's so inconvenient, like for you to just wear a mask. It's like, that's so selfish to me. I
agree.
And I think it's more because
I don't understand where the whole human rights things come from, by the way. I don't understand where the whole rights things come from. You're taking away my rights by making me I don't understand
what
that.
right? The problem is that when you give people like certain freedoms for a really long period of time, they start to feel like, oh, like it's entitled. Like they're entitled to that way of living.
I mean, they are entitled to that way of living, but when they have to be modified, is where they get upset. Because they're just like they're not even upset about the mask.
Anything upsets their daily routine.
Yeah, it's like it's not even they're upset about the mask. It's just it could be like you gotta wear gloves everywhere now. Mechanics wear gloves because they're safe. I mean,
he's like, you were used to living this way. Now you just have to live this way for a little while until things get better.
Yeah,
it
it's
really
for your own
isn't
safety
that big
and
a
other
deal,
people's. And then of other people that are like, the coronavirus is a hoax. I can't remember what it is that they made up a whole slogan for it, for coronavirus being a hoax. I can't remember what it was.
Yeah, coronavirus is a hoax, and meanwhile there are like literally hundreds of thousands of people who have died from it.
200,000. We just broke it yesterday, or the day before.
Yeah, but they'll even like say that that's made up, that they're just calling it death by coronavirus because
they need numbers.
I mean, why they would need to do that, I don't know. I mean, like, it's an elaborate conspiracy theory now.
You got me. I don't fucking know.
But it's just, the whole thing is just stupid. Just wear a goddamn mask. It's really not that big a fucking deal.
Yeah, that's the same way that we both do the same way. Wear a fucking mask.
And, like, other countries have been following the same rules, like, wearing masks, and their numbers have, like, dropped dramatically.
Oh, yeah. Drastically.
Didn't they just report that, like, the numbers in China, or for example, have dropped ridiculously, like for
coronavirus numbers?
Like, I don't know. Like, I remember, like, someone saying, like, that in other countries, just because they wore masks, like, their numbers have dropped so significantly, and ours just keep rising here.
Well, that's because Americans are retarded.
Oh, yeah. Like, we're so, like, rebellious for no reason other than we just don't want to change anything about our lives.
Like, I hate to say this because I know it sounds kind of shitty, or not even really shitty. It doesn't really, I don't know. I'm just going to say it anyway. But, like, I know that I am not the perfect human. There's a lot of things about me that I imagine other people would find annoying or, toxic traits or something like that. I'm sure I've got some. I'm sure I'm an asshole to somebody about something, about things. But, like, I mean, like, where people annoy me about the mask things, like, those people are literal trash humans. I'm sure that there's some reason people could look at me that I'm a trash human. Like, I like Hawaiian pizza. That alone makes a lot of people annoyed by my presence.
That says something about us.
It's so good. But regardless, it's like, that is literally just trash human behavior. And I know like, the whole reason I'm saying that is because, like, I know that I'm not the end-all be-all, and I'm not the person to say that, like, I know the right thing to do. Because I don't. I don't know the right thing to do most any day. Look, I've worn the same black pair of gym shorts for the last 2 days. I don't make good decisions a lot of the time. And I just, I don't know. I feel like at this point in time, people need to just wear a fucking mask. Like, it's not that difficult. Like, you can find one that is comfortable. You can find one that matches your style. If you want to get a camouflage one or
Exactly.
a Louis Vuitton one, I don't give a fuck what it is, as long as it covers your goddamn mug.
It's like I appreciate that because like those trends now. See, that's a trend I can get behind. It's like make the best of the situation.
Yeah.
Like people have like masks have become their own style now.
Yeah, that's their own
You know,
accessories. I mean, I own like 7 different masks.
yeah, I have like six in my house and then like another four in my car,
Yeah.
and people buy masks with cool designs on them or with vents on them so that you can work out. And there's people that they buy a mask for every day of the week. It's like
This is my Friday
just
mask.
to match
Can you
whatever
imagine having a
clothes they
mask
wear.
that just says Friday, Monday, whatever it is on
Yeah,
the
it's
day?
just
So, like, when somebody hasn't washed their mask for a little while, you're like, you've been wearing Monday for a
like, babe,
couple of
why
days,
is my
bud.
Monday mask in the drawer with where my Tuesday mask is supposed to be?
You have different drawers for your different days of the
Yeah,
week masks.
and different cabinets.
And different cabinets. The cabinets where my shoes go to make sure I don't get the anthrax pins on me. That's perfect.
Wait,
Oh god, I don't even want to talk about coronavirus at this point. All I know is I just want to say that just fucking wear a mask, please, just for us.
and just wear shoes.
Yeah, wear shoes, please. That's also disgusting. How could you go outside of your house without wearing shoes? Jessica, my girlfriend, whenever she walks out of the house, like when we're walking over there, when we all had one pair of flip flops because my other ones that we were using had broken because they're trash.
Hmm.
We all had one pair of flip flops, so usually I would put my shoes on, or she would put her shoes on. The other person wore the flip flops. One person got the easier choice of footwear, right? Well, whenever she and I were like not arguing, just kind of like play arguing on the way to the door, I'm like, I'm gonna take the flip flops. She goes, No, you're not. And I say, I am. And I go and I slip them on my feet, and I look at her so proud of myself. She goes, I don't give a shit. I'll walk outside barefoot. And just the idea of her walking outside barefoot disgusts me to my core, to where I will give them up and go get shoes and socks.
Oh my
I
god.
hate it so much. It's so gross to me. Walking around outdoors where people like, my dog has taken a shit on the sidewalk by accident, and I've cleaned it up. Like I have thrown up on a sidewalk at one point in time in my life. You know,
It's
people
it's like
spit
you
on the
find all
sidewalk.
kinds of like
Why are you
ridiculous
okay
shit. And
with
this is
this?
Florida. We get so many international people here bringing in like God knows what they're bringing in from like,
I don't
other
know.
countries,
They could just be bringing in a fucking powdered donut, and if that powder gets on the sidewalk, you walk through it. Guess what? Fuck your feet, bud. It's just gross. It's
It's like
just disgusting. I don't understand how people do it.
no,
I
I,
really
I don't I
don't.
don't like it either. Like honestly, I don't even like going outside in sandals, to be honest.
I can
Yeah.
deal with sandals around my complex. Like if I have to go like get the mail or if I'm walking the dog, I've become much more inclined to wear sandals.
Mhm.
Like before we lived here and before we had Lincoln, I never wore sandals. Whenever I took the other two dogs out on a walk, I would always put shoes on.
Really?
Yeah, every single time. But like I've worn sandals here and it's okay, but the thought of getting in a car or like getting out of the car to go inside of like a store
Mhm.
with sandals on, like when we went to the beach the other day, when we got there, I took off my shoes and socks and I put them in my driver's seat like on the floor,
Mhm.
and then I put on sandals when I got out of the car to go to the beach. When I got back to the car, I used a towel to wipe my feet off again, and I usually keep a bottle of water next to the door,
Mhm.
so that way when I'm coming back to the car, I can rinse off my feet yet again of sand, wipe them off completely, put my shoes and socks back on because I do not want to be in sandals at all.
That's the major drawback of coming back from like say the beach or something like that.
Sand.
It's like I hate sand.
It's coarse and it gets everywhere. It's the worst goddamn thing in the world.
Like my girlfriend loves to go to the beach
I'm sorry.
like all the freaking time. And while I do like the beach, like I like it as an occasional, experience. Like I like going there like maybe once, or twice a month,
No, I'll go once or twice a year. That's a.
Really? Like
I've lived in Florida my entire life though, and
like
I've lived within the within like 5 to 10 minutes of the beach my entire life, excluding now and when I used to live in Lakeland.
mhm.
I have always lived within 5 to 10 minutes of the beach, and I don't give a fuck about the beach.
But even now, we're like what, an hour and a
Yeah,
half
hour
from
and
the
a half,
nearest beach.
literally from either coast. It's about
Yeah,
the same amount of time in either direction.
and like honestly, like I mean, I don't miss it. I mean, like if I never see another beach, I won't lose sleep over it.
I won't
You
be
know,
sad. I
but
mean, like, I
she
would.
like
I like having the beach as an option. Don't get me wrong. Like, I like going out there and like say if it's a nice cool day out, go out with
mhm.
like a nice mixed drink. And my favorite thing to do on the beach is just I must have shade. That is number one at priority. If I don't have like a fucking like a big umbrella or a large man named Craig to stand over me and cast shadow so I don't have to get hit by the sun, then I don't want to go to the beach. Like that is the thing. If I don't have an umbrella of some sort, I'm not going.
I need shade too for obvious reasons. Like I actually,
You
probably not obvious. Like I get
you burn
seriously
bad.
burned. Like I burn very very easily at the beach.
Well, when you and I went the other day, you saw me. I just sat there and I scrubbed myself with suntan lotion, finished, and then immediately replied the next layer because I don't want to get burned at the
Maybe that's
beach.
what I need to start doing because like I literally got burned driving to the beach.
Yeah,
How is that even possible?
being
Like,
you.
I guess like I can't like, and I don't understand like why that happens to me. It's like it's not like I never go outside. It's like
Sure.
why my skin is so sensitive to the sun. I don't know.
I get the same way though. When I'm out in the sun for more than about 3 hours, I have a sunburn. If I don't wear suntan lotion, and sometimes if I do, I feel like my body drinks suntan lotion.
Really?
That's how I'm so white.
Maybe that's what it is. Like I don't know.
I don't tan. I burn on the outside layer, and then everything inside's still okay. Just
Like
drinking.
no, I get
Maybe
like
that'll help.
I got burned driving to the beach. Like
Yeah, because you fucked up, bud.
because the
I
fucking
don't know what to tell you.
like the
The sun don't
windows
like
in our
you.
cars are not, they're not tinted, and
You
like the
gotta
light
tint them.
gets in.
You gotta tint them.
I don't understand like driving to the beach how I can get sunburned driving to the beach, like not even being outside.
The natural light of the world comes from the sun. It's telling you that you need to belong inside and stay there forever. Because when natural light says fuck
I wish I
you,
could, honestly. Part of me wishes I could. Like, but by
stop it.
God, excuse me.
I'm gonna go ahead and sum everything that I said just up to say fuck the beach.
Yeah, like I mean, not fuck the beach. Like I mean, I like the beach. Especially if you go with the right people.
Yeah.
On the right day when the weather's just right and the temperature is great. But it's just not something I need to do a lot.
Yeah, I don't have to do it
To
multiple
do it
times
very
a year.
often. But like I said, my girlfriend loves it, and so that's why I make the sacrifice to go out there, and just to
And
go
go
out as
enjoy
many
it.
times as she wants, like
Of course.
because I want to make her happy. We both want to make our women happy.
I
You
love
know.
Jessica to death, but I'm not going to the beach that many times. I'm sorry. I think that the both of us, we agree so well on that, and I think that's one of the reasons that we feel like we're meant to be together, is
Is
because
that you both don't care about our happiness? I'm
No.
kidding. I'm kidding.
we both just like we hate the same things about as much, so we'll be like, it sounds nice like once
We
or
both
twice.
hate the same things about you.
Yeah, exactly. We're like, I don't want to do this, and she goes, yeah, I don't want to either, and then we can both agree, fuck that, and we'll stay home. Um, but yeah, no, I'm just gonna say fuck the beach. Just give me if I'm gonna go, it has to be the right temperature, nice breeze, waves rolling in that sound nice. It's gotta be like almost cool, but still kind of warm. I need shade, obviously. I need shade and a nice little endless cocktail or something like that next to me, and I'll just sit there and I'll go in the water a little bit, come back out, enjoy myself, go in the water, come back out. But yeah, that's a
Yeah,
good day at
that's
the
what
beach
we
for
do.
me.
Sometimes we don't even go in the water.
Yeah, that's weird.
Like literally, we'll go. Maybe we'll
Do you wear bathing suits?
take a dip in the water. No, we just like go in jeans and.
No, for real though.
Yeah.
Do you actually like wear bathing suits each time you go out, and then sometimes you just don't go in the water?
No, yeah, we do. Like wear bathing suits. Yeah.
You wear bathing suits each time you go though.
Yeah.
But sometimes you don't go in the water.
Yeah.
Fuck is wrong with you? That is like the biggest goddamn waste of my life. You could have had the same thing with a surround sound system in your bedroom. You could just stare at the TV a little bit
I
closer.
know,
You could have
just
been
like
there.
play a video of the beach or something.
I'll buy you actually, I have a space heater in the other room. I'll give it to you so you can make the room nice and blistering hot, to where maybe you'll even burn. You know?
Like
Wouldn't
we'll
that
go
be
in
nice?
the water, but then like we only usually stay in the water for like maybe a few minutes, and then we just go out in the land. We lounge on the, on the lawn chairs or whatever, and then we just sit there for like forever. Like when we went to Vero Beach,
Uh huh.
like when we finally ended up
Oh shit.
getting around to the beach,
Yeah.
we ended up we got into the water for a little while.
Go ahead.
We went to the water for I want to say about 10-15 minutes, But then when we got out, we just fell asleep on the chairs and then
Yeah.
literally spent like hours just doing that, just telling stories and like just enjoying the weather and the fact that we were there. Like, I think it's the idea of going to the beach that she loves.
The idea, not the execution.
Mm-hmm.
I like the execution when I'm finally there. I never like the idea of going. The big pain in the ass. There's sand in my car. My car's black. I hate it. Like if I still have my tan car, like all the interior was tan, I think sand wouldn't bother me as much. But because my car is completely black, I can see every fucking speck of that bullshit.
All right. So, what were we talking about?
So anyhow, that's it for this entire episode today.
Oh.
This is this is our first shot at making this podcast, and I don't know how long this is really going to be when I finally edit it down, seeing as how we're almost sitting at 2 hours now.
Jesus.
And, yeah, I did not realize that. So I feel bad about the fact that I am the editor now, and that I'll have to go through all of this, and also marry that camera together with like 18 different
Better
clips
you
over
than
and
me.
over. I wish you knew how to do it. I'm going to buy you a computer just so you can start editing this podcast.
Yeah,
And I'll edit
just
it
so I
videos.
can do the editing one.
Exactly. I'll teach you how to do it. It's just painstaking. It's simple, but it's painstaking. Are you okay?
No.
Anyhow, this is the last bit of our video. We're going to do this as often as we can. If we can try and do it at least once a week, that would be good. And I'd like to try and do it twice a week, if we can. Or at least, put 2 in the hopper and then at least be able to put them out once a week.
Mm-hmm. What is the hopper?
Like a reservoir.
Like a beach?
Like put them in like a safe, We make them and we put them away.
Mm-hmm.
And then when Friday or whatever fucking day we want comes around, we cherry pick it out and then we flick it at the audience.
Gotcha.
And then they go, wow, a video. And then they keep scrolling,
Yeah.
But that's when it'll come out.
Okay.
Every once in a while. But yeah, no, we don't really have any other things that like are happening online. I've got a YouTube channel, the J Watch, and it's also the same name on Twitch. So anyhow, after that, please tell us what you think about the podcast, and yeah, try to give us some suggestions for topics in the future, and we'll try and be able to go over them.
Yeah. Or don't tell us what you think. Like.
Tell us what you think.
It's your choice. We don't want to force anyone.
It's not your choice. You have to tell us what you think. It's an obligation by the end of this video. I'm sorry, that paper you signed at the beginning, legal and binding.
Exactly. Yeah.
There's a fucking moth in my thing for a second. Am I going crazy?
I know I am.
Anyhow, yeah. Yeah, check us out at those other 2 channels. He pops up on my Twitch from time to time as well. And I was Jeremy. This is AJ. And we're from Intelligence Not Included. And we're the only 2 members. So we're from us.
Exactly. And there is no intelligence included.
Yeah. No, not at all. But nonetheless, hope you had a good time. I know that we did. And
we definitely did.
We'll be doing this again very soon. So I hope to see you there. I love you. Wear your fucking mask.
Wear a fucking mask, please.
Please.
And
Please.
wear shoes.